A really common topic you always see online is, do you need a diff drop when you lift your vehicle? Well, I'm here to help show you exactly what's going to happen if you install the diff drop, plus also help tell you if you need one. Where does all this topic stem from though? Well, when you lift your IFS vehicle, the angles of all your suspension components are going to change. This is going to cause all your steering and driveline related components to angle down more because they're still connected to your wheels, which are still on the ground. Now, the important thing to keep an eye on is your CVs, or constant velocity joints. These are your CVs here, and they are what connects your wheels to the differential, giving you the drive in those wheels when you're in four-wheel drive. We can see here with this CV in my hands that when I try to simulate getting a lift kit, angling down that CV more, I'm maxing out this top joint, which is the side that connects to your differential. Now, that's no good because that's going to cause a lot more wear and strain on that joint. It's also probably going to cause it to bind up if you sort of put a lot more power through that suddenly and launch it back down into the ground. You can cause that CV to snap and bind, and you're going to be in a world of hurt having to replace that CV on the side of the track. Here I've got a vehicle that doesn't have a diff drop or a lift kit, and we're going to jack it up on the hoist to simulate adding a lift kit and see what happens to those CV angles. As you can see, the higher and higher we went, the issue gets worse and worse. And it's at that 2 to 3 inches of lift mark that we start to see the issue get really bad, and we get to that point where you're going to get CV bind, or you're going to cause that excessive wear on your CVs themselves. This is where a diff drop is going to come in. And at Fulcrum Suspensions, we sell diff drops for multiple vehicles, such as your BT50s, your D-Maxes, your Hiluxes, your Prados, Rangers, and so on. The diff drops are then fitted to your vehicle, and we've got one fitted to this BT50 here. And the idea of the diff drop is it's going to lower your diff down by about 20 to 25 mil, reducing those CV angles. And with the reduced CV angles, that means that you're going to have a minimal chance of getting those CVs binding and also snapping while off-road. On this BT50, it's got a diff drop fitted and also a lift kit fitted, sitting at about 2 to 3 inches of lift in the front. And as we can see by the angles of the CVs, they're actually okay, causing no extra wear on those CVs, which means it's not going to really get any issues off-road, it's not going to bind, and it's not going to snap off-road, or at least minimal risk of that happening. And this brings us to the topic of whether or not you need to get a diff drop when you lift your vehicle. And with our extensive testing and findings, it's that the majority of IFS vehicles should get a diff drop when you lift your vehicle between that 2 to 3 inches of lift, mainly because when you lift that vehicle at that sort of range, you're going to cause the CVs to get excessive wear, potentially damage them as well. And if you're planning to go off-road, you have a higher likelihood of causing those CVs to get really damaged, snapping off-road, which will then leave you stranded on the side of the track if you don't have a spare. And honestly, if it was me and I had to pick between getting a diff drop and the price of the diff drop compared to the price of a new CV, because I'm expecting to break my CVs while going off-road, I'm going to be picking the diff drop every day of the week. Just because getting a CV, especially if you don't have one already, it's going to be quite costly when you're out on the track. If you want to get a diff drop for your vehicle and save yourself a headache of a snap CV, then you can get one online at fulcrumsuspensions.com.au, or you can click the link down below in the description. Otherwise, if you have any questions regarding diff drops and whether or not you should get one for your vehicle, please leave them down below in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Otherwise, guys, get out there and go exploring.